Check, check. If y'all at home in the chat, if y'all could type a one in if you could hear me right now. Check, check. If y'all at home in the chat. Alright. Shalom. Yishabrak Rock, you can hear me?
Khan Adawan Khan, Shalom, Yahabashim Yam Shabrak Cook,
Yishabrak, what's going on?
and not much, sir. Getting the share on right now.
Alright. Okay, cool. We're going to be doing a little bit of reading today. We're going to go to First Ezra's, and we're going to start in the 3rd chapter in the 1st verse, all right?
Salaki said, can you repeat that again?
We're going to go to First Ezra's, and let's go to chapter 3, verse 1.
First Ezra chapter 3, verse 1.
Hey, shalom to everybody in the chat.
Okay, you there, sir? I got it.
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Now when Darius reigned, he made a great feast unto all his subjects, and unto all his household, and unto all the princes of Media and Persia.
So, Media and Persia, all right? So now, this is the Medo-Persian Empire that we're reading about right now. Go ahead.
And to all the governors and captains and lieutenants that were under him, from India unto Ethiopia, of 127 provinces.
You understand? So this is how vast his empire was, all his different provinces. Go ahead.
And when they had eaten and drunken and being satisfied were going home, then Darius the king went into his bedchamber and slept, and soon after awakened. Then 3 young men that were of the guard that kept the king's body spake one to another.
Good.
Let every one of us speak a sentence. He that shall overcome, and whose sentence shall seem wiser than the others. Unto him shall the king Darius give great gifts, and great things in token of victory.
So now they're issuing a challenge to each other, right? To try to get a little bit of glory here. So they're about to have a topic of discussion that they're going to bring forth this king. Go ahead.
Then, Salaki, as to be clothed as to be clothed in purple, to drink in gold, and to sleep upon gold, and a chariot with bridles of gold, and an head tire of fine linen, and a chain about his neck.
All right, so they want to be decked out. Good.
And he shall sit next to Darius because of his wisdom, and shall be called Darius his cousin.
Good.
And when everyone wrote his sentence, sealed it, and laid it under King Darius his pillow, and said that when the king is risen, some will give him the writings, and of whose side the king and the 3 princes of Persia shall judge that his sentence is the wisest. To him shall the victory be given, as was appointed.
So now this is the challenge that was set up, right? So they all said we're gonna write down, you know what I'm saying, a wise sentence, and what they're gonna do is they're going to talk about what is the strongest things on earth, and as a result, they believe that they're going to get rewarded from the king for whoever has the wisest sentence. Go ahead.
The first wrote, wine is the strongest. The second wrote, the king is strongest. The third wrote, women are strongest. But above all things, truth beareth away the victory.
You understand? So we have wine, the king, woman, and the truth. These are the things that they said are the strongest on the planet. Go ahead.
Now when the king was risen up, they took their writings and delivered them unto him, and so he read them. And sending forth, he called all the princes of Persia and Media, and the governors, and the captains, and the lieutenants, and the chief officers. He sat them down in the royal seat of judgment, and the writings were read before them.
So now they're having a council. Now they're having a council. They're all sitting amongst each other. Go ahead.
And he said, call the young men, and they shall declare their own sentences. So they were called, and came in. And he
So now when it says they declare their own sentences, they're about to give a breakdown for the reasoning as to why they picked these things. So they're going to talk about why they believe wine is the strongest on the planet, why they believe the king is the strongest on the planet, or why they believe women is the strongest on the planet. Go ahead.
And he said unto them, declare unto us your mind concerning the writings. Then began the first, who had spoken of the strength of wine. And he said thus, O ye men, how exceeding strong is wine! It causes all men to err that drink it.
You understand? So now he's utilizing wine to give reasons why wine is the strongest thing. Because he's saying any man who gets drunk is going to make a mistake. Good?
It maketh the mind of the king and of the fatherless child to be all one.
You understand? So the fatherless child, the child who grows up without guidance, becomes the same as a drunk king, a man who rules an empire. Good?
Of the bondman and of the free man, of the poor man and of the rich.
Meaning they all become one. Like wine is not a respecter of persons when it comes for you. Good?
It turneth also every thought into jollity and mirth, so that a man remembereth neither sorrow nor death.
You understand? Because now it's something that could take your pain away. Now it's something that relieves you from the reality of the world. Good?
And it maketh every heart rich, so that a man remembereth neither king nor governor, and it maketh to speak all things by talent.
You understand? Meaning that it's why they call liquor like liquid courage, because the things you would normally be afraid to say, it gives you the freedom to say. Good.
And when they are in their cups, they forgot their love both to friends and brethren, and a little after draw out swords.
You understand? And this is why, man, I don't know about where y'all are from. You know what I'm saying? Especially if the music is right. Let Knuck If You Buck come on in the club. Is ended in a brawl or shooting. You know what I'm saying? Like there's certain songs you can't play in certain areas. You know what I mean? It's just going down. Why? Because alcohol is in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Like it's going to give you a different. It's going to change the entire atmosphere. Okay?
But when they are from the wine, they remember not.
I think you cut out. Rock, you still there? But when they are from the wine, they remember not what they have done. You understand? A lot of times, half the time, people won't even remember what they've done. Because he's saying that this is how much power that wine has. That it'll cause you to act out of your initial character. Cause you maybe to reveal true feelings. Cause you to reveal things that maybe weren't there in the first place. All of these things, you understand, control a man and move him to act in a certain way that he's saying wine must be the most powerful thing. Because it puts everybody on an equal playing field. Whether you're rich, poor, bond, free, whatever the case may be. Let me know when you're back, Rock.
Salaki, sir, I'm back.
Oh, all
I
right.
was reading. I got hooted for some reason.
No sweat. Let's continue.
Where did you leave off, sir?
We were at 23. You can continue with 24.
Oh, kind of. Okay. O ye men, Is not wine the strongest that enforceth to do thus? And when he had so spoken, he held his peace.
You understand? So that was the end of his conclusion. So that was the argument for wine. Good.
Then the second that had spoken of the strength of the king began to say, O ye men, do not men excel in strength that bear rule over sea and land and all things in them?
You understand? So now we're talking about the king. Good.
But yet the king is more mighty, for he is Lord of all these things, and have dominion over them. And whatsoever he commandeth them they do.
So this man's saying the king is strongest over everything. Because look at the command that he has over all these regions, over all these men. And just at his word or at a letter with his signet on it, will they obey? Go ahead.
If he bid them make war, the one against the other, they do it. If he send them against Slakia, if he send them out against the enemies, they go and break down mountains, walls, and towers.
If this one man has the power to start a war with another nation, good.
They slay and are slain, and transgress not the king's commandments. If they get the victory, they bring all to the king, as well the spoil as all things else.
You understand? The king is going to get his tribute. All of this is done in the name of that one man. They destroy cities, they follow his command, and then after they spoil the city, after they take, you understand, the gold, the treasury, everything, they bring it all back to the king's foot. Go ahead.
Likewise, for those that are no soldiers, and have not to do with wars, but use husbandry, when they have reaped again that which they had sown, they bring it to the king, and compel one another to pay tribute unto the king.
The taxes, everything comes back. The king got to get a little piece of the action. Good.
And yet he is but one man. If he command to kill, they kill. If he command to spare, they spare.
You understand? This is the authority that he bears, which is why he's saying this is the strongest on the earth, not wine. Good.
If he command to smite, they smite. If he command to make desolate, they make desolate. If he command to build, they build. If he command to cut down, they cut down. If he command to plant, they plant.
Whatever his will is, that's what they're going to do. Good.
So all his people and his armies obey him. Furthermore, he lieth down. He eateth and drinketh and taketh his rest.
Good.
All these keep watch round about him.
Say that again.
All these keep watch round about him.
Yours says all or end?
It says, and these keep watch round about him.
Good.
Neither may anyone depart and do his own business, neither disobey they him in anything.
And listen, and the whole time I'm hearing this, I'm just thinking about, you understand, Yahushua, and let that be a lesson to everybody that we don't have a democracy in Israel. You understand? Like there is no saying you believe in the Bible and then you got choices. That doesn't work. You understand? Like when you listen to what it is that our king has to say, it is to be obeyed. Anything that was written down, anything that he commanded is to be done. You understand? There's no democracy. That whole idea of choice and what you want to do goes out the window. That's American. That's democracy. You understand? You want to live like an American. When this world is judged, you will die like an American. Read on.
Oh, then the third, who has spoken of women and of the truth, this was Zerubbabel, began to speak.
Good.
O ye men, it is not the great king, nor the multitude of men, neither is it wine that excelleth. Who is it then that ruleth them, or hath the lordship over them? Are they not women?
So now it's talking about women being the most powerful thing on the planet. Good?
Women have borne the king and all the people that bear rule by sea
Do you
and land.
understand? Meaning kings come out of women. And so does all the people that he rules over. Good?
Even of them came they, and they nourished them up that planted the vineyards, from whence the wine cometh.
Good? So now
These also,
he's saying, you want to talk about where the wine comes, you want to talk about wine. Women are the reason why there is wine, because they nourished up the men who go and make the wine from the grapes. Good?
these also make garments for men. These bring glory unto men, and without women cannot men be.
Good? Matter of fact, read that.
Yeah,
Matter of fact, slow down real quick. Read that again, 17.
come out of one come. These also make garments for men. These bring glory unto men, and without women cannot men be.
Man, and let me tell you something, man. Like that's like Proverbs, you know what I'm saying, 31, where everybody always talks about a virtuous woman, right? And it's like, the thing is that you're not virtuous, you understand, just because you're pretty. You're not virtuous just because, you know what I'm saying, you have a head wrap on or you started wearing a dress. A virtue is a skill. You understand? And it says that a man can be honored in the gates because of what his woman can do. You know what I mean? Like a woman gets notoriety in Israel because of her works. Everybody's got a job to do. Everybody got to put their brick in. And it just so happens that the garments that this sister's making is so bad that the man's getting glory because he's looking fresh out there. And shout out to everybody at the Passover. You know what I'm saying? Because the Passover, brothers and sisters, was looking glorious, was looking like royalty. And it's a lot of sisters behind that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of sisters sewing, you know what I'm saying, till their fingers bleed. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make sure everybody look good. You know what I mean? They should get their recognition for that. Good?
Yea, and if men have gathered together gold and silver, or any other goodly thing, do they not love a woman which is comely in favor and beauty?
You understand? So a man who's going to be rich, right? And any other goodly thing, what he's definitely going to want is a beautiful woman. Good?
And letting all those things go, do they not gape, and even with open mouth fix their eyes fast on her?
Good?
And have not all men more desire unto her than unto silver and gold, or any goodly thing whatsoever?
You know what I'm saying? Like even think about, you know what I'm saying, on the left-hand side. What's the number one reason why, you know what I'm saying, why brothers end up selling drugs? Why do brothers want a nice car? You know what I'm saying? Like you look at a brother, right? And he won't clean his room till a woman coming over. Like the house will be a wreck. As soon as he finds out shorty coming up, that house get cleaner. That house get cleaned in 8 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden he a professional. You know what I mean? Even sometimes I even got to talk to brothers at camp. Like a brother will come to camp, he'll have a bleach stain on his shirt, or maybe his pants will be wrinkled or something. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be like, hey, if you were going on a date tonight, you would have wore that shirt with that bleach stain? He'll be like, nah. Or I'll be like, if you was going out, you know what I'm saying, with some shorty tonight, you mean to tell me you was gonna go out there all wrinkled? Or would you iron your pants and your shirt? He's like, nah, I would have ironed. So you mean to tell me that date with that woman means more than your office to the work of the Lord? Nah, I ain't think so. Like, if you show up to camp, you better come presentable. That's the power that a woman has over a man. You know what I'm saying? He'll clean the crib. He'll get himself presentable. You know what I'm saying? Go and get some Captain Zaryak's oils. You know what I'm saying? To be smelling good. All of the above. You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure that he could attract a beautiful woman. And it means more. And even, like I said, even all the drugs in the world is being sold because, you know what I'm saying? Like all the cars that's being bought. Why drug dealers buy Mercedes and all that? It's literally for women. You know what I'm saying? It's for a sense of security, but it's literally for a woman somewhere to be more attractive because, you know what I'm saying, finances give security. Read on.
Kananawankan. A man leaveth his own father that brought him up in his own country, and cleaveth unto his wife.
You understand? Will literally leave his own land and family, you understand, and go start a new one with a woman. Good?
He sticketh not to spend his life with his wife, and remembereth neither father, nor mother, nor country.
You understand? Because him and his wife become a new family unit. This is who he sits. This is who he sits with. This is who he builds with. Good?
By this also ye must know that Slakim. By this also ye must know that women have dominion over you. Do ye not labor and toil and give and bring all to the woman?
You understand? Like what you think brothers want a house for? You know, I seen a meme the other day, right? Where it was a brother, it was a TV on the floor, a PlayStation, and I want to say like one chair. You know what I'm saying? Like either one lazy boy or a damn beanbag or something. You know what I mean? Like, and a woman shared it and was like, men think this is okay. You know what I'm saying? And then a brother responded and said, women hate how little it takes, you know what I'm saying, for us to be happy. Because it's like women will increase your quality of life. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll do little things, like, you know what I'm saying, put candles in the bathroom and those little floor mats. You know what I'm saying? Like men will take an old towel, throw it on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. They'll put, like, you know, plants and pictures up, and, you know what I'm saying, like, beautify the crib. You know what I'm saying? They increase the quality, because we'll live like savages. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need a lot of space. We don't care about those things. Women care about those things, so we go get them. And then we toil and spoil, so what? So she could get the new bedroom set. You get what I'm saying? Like, we'll go work and grind, you know what I'm saying, because she wants a pool in the backyard now. Or whatever the case may be. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, wouldn't it be nice if we could put this on the veranda? I don't know what a veranda is, but women use that word. All right? Like, that's what they go to do. You know what I'm saying? And some brother who loves her will go and work and toil and spoil and do whatever he can just to make her happy. When he don't give a damn about that, we'll live on a beanbag. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll live on a beanbag with no couch, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else who comes over, sit on the floor Indian style, and we'll do it and be happy. We don't need a lot. You know what I'm saying? But y'all want to redo the living room. Y'all need new kitchen floors. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they do. And it actually, once again, increases the quality of your life. They're the ones who go change the shower curtains. You know what I'm saying? Like, a man, your nasty ass will sit there with mold on the shower curtain. You won't give a damn about that unless a woman comes over. Then you'll change it. Read on.
Second Ezra chapter 4, verse 23. Yea, a man taketh his sword and goeth his way to rob and to steal, to sail upon the sea and upon rivers.
Read that again.
Yeah, a man taketh his sword and goeth his way to rob and to steal, to sail upon the sea and upon rivers.
And lets you know, like, this is the exact spirit behind when it says that like in Proverbs 31, when it says that a man shall have no need of spoil. You know what I'm saying? Spoil is what you get when a brother hits a lick. You get what I'm saying? Like spoil is what you get when a man is, you know what I'm saying, a stick-up kid or looking for a jukes. You know what I mean? Why do men do this? Read on.
And looketh upon a lion and goeth in the darkness. And when he hath stolen, spoiled, and robbed, he bringeth it to his love.
You understand? He brings it to his love. He brings it to his woman. What do you think we doing all this for? You know what I'm saying? Why you think brothers is getting it how they live? Because they want to provide security for them and theirs. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
Wherefore a man loveth his wife better than father or mother.
You understand? Because a woman is Man, it's damn near like if and once again I hate using, you know what I'm saying, movie references, but you know what I'm saying, we're a visual people. But if y'all seen Harlem Nights, you know what I'm saying, now on the left hand side that was a devil, but to get him they went and sent that woman. He changed religions. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, man, she must have, excuse my language, but she must have some good box for him to change gods. A man will change his God over a woman. And that's why the Lord told you not to go get a heathen woman. Because you will go get you an Asian and now you're a Buddhist. You'll go get you a white woman and stay a Christian. You'll go get you an East Indian and be praising Allah or Krishna. You understand? Because that's how powerful a woman is. They will get you to turn on your God. Read on.
Yeah, many there be that have run out of their wits for a woman and become servants for their sakes.
You understand? There's many men that lose their wits and just live to serve a woman. You understand? Just live and become a servant. Good?
Many also have perished, have erred, and sinned for women.
Brother, I remember I don't know about y'all, man, like every beef I've ever seen in my life was either over money or a woman. You understand? Like I think I was just talking about this the other day when the Biggie movie came out. Right? I was in Mariners Harbor and we went to see the movie. I think it was opening night. It was like a midnight showing. And reason why I remember this is because there was crazy commotion in the parking lot when we let out. It was, great movie, great time, you know what I'm saying? We come out and a fight broke out. Some kid ended up being hospitalized. Brother drove in from Brooklyn and batted this cat out for sleeping with his girl. You know what I'm saying? Like brothers have died over women, got locked up over women. You know what I'm saying? Wars have been fought over women. Like you seen that movie Troy. Everybody loved that movie Troy. Troy was fought over a woman. Nations have crumbled over it. You understand? Literally. Nadiah, concert. Wars have been started over women. Exactly. These are the exact type of things that'll happen. Read on.
And now do ye not believe me? Is not the king great in his power? Do not all regions fear to touch him?
You understand? So now he's talking about the king, but now watch how he compares this. Go ahead.
Yet did I see him in Apame, the king's concubine, the daughter of the admirable Bartachus, sitting at the right hand of the king.
So this woman comes and sits down right next to. So remember, like, what's crazy is this brother is really battling right now because he's presenting his argument. But not only is he presenting his argument, but he cut the boy who talked about wine. He's like, yeah, wine is strong. But do not women raise the babies who grow up to become men to make the wine? Yes, the king is powerful. The king has command over all. But I remember there was this one woman who was sitting next to the king. And what did she do after she sat next to the king? Go ahead.
And taking the crown from the king's head and setting it upon her own head.
She took the crown off the king's head, put it on her head. Who can do that? I want y'all to think about this. Like Biden's president right now. How many of y'all could even get in a room with Biden? How many of y'all have even seen a president in the flesh? Nobody? But this woman sitting right next to him could take the crown off his head. Read on.
She also struck the king with her left hand.
She struck the king with her left hand, playful. You know what I'm saying? Playing with the king after she took the his crown off his head. Go ahead.
And yet, for all this, the king gaped and gazed upon her with open mouth.
You understand that he just sat there with his mouth open, astonished. Go ahead.
If she laughed upon him, he laughed also.
Do you understand? And when she laughed, he laughed. Good.
But if she took any displeasure at him, The king was fain to flatter, that she might be reconciled to him again.
You understand? So anytime he would offend her by saying something, he would now have to flatter her or compliment her to get him back in the graces. And this was the man that cities crumble if he gives the order. This is the man who can start a war. This is the man that if he says kill, kill. If he says yield, they yield. Like, this brother is battling right now. Zerubbabel. Good?
O ye men, how can it be but women should be strong, seeing they do thus? Then the king and the princes looked one upon another. So he began to speak for the truth.
So he began to speak of the truth. So now we're about to get into the grit. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, he said women are the strongest, but above all things, truth beareth away the victory. So he used women as a guise to really give a breakdown of the truth. Good?
The king, Slakia, is he, O ye men, are not women strong? Great is the earth, high is the heaven.
Where are you right now?
34, sir. I finished with 33 before.
Okay,
I'm
good.
34 now.
Good. Starts 34 from the top.
O ye men, are not women strong? Great is the earth, high is the heaven. Swift is the sun in his course, for he compasseth the heavens round about, and fetcheth his course again to his own place in one day. Is he not great that maketh these things? Therefore great is the truth, and stronger than all things.
So now he's about to give an argument, because this is what brothers have to realize, right? What brothers have to realize is the only thing on the face of the earth that's stronger than a woman is a man in the truth. You understand? Is living, breathing, and having that truth inside of you. Like the moral of this story, right, which we're going to get into and get into a deeper breakdown, and he's going to give his argument for the truth. But women are the most powerful thing on the planet. And a man without the truth stands not a chance against her. Literally. You know what I'm saying? Like you turn around, you look at how brothers come inside the truth and get off drugs. Drugs is a government conspiracy. You know what I mean? Like if you've been able to put down the weed, stop doing heroin, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, stop smoking crack, whatever it is that was ailing you. You know what I'm saying? Quit cigarettes, all these things. You know what I'm saying? You have literally survived a government conspiracy. It's the CIA who brought heroin and cocaine, you know what I'm saying, into the ghetto and then policed us until we filled the prison system to 2 million. You know what I'm saying? You could survive being in a gang. You could survive the neighborhoods we came from. Survive poverty, survive white supremacy, police brutality, all these things. Come in the truth, change your life. And a woman could still destroy you. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you, right? In my short stay in this truth, right? This last Passover was my 10th Passover, so I've been in the ISUPK for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen somebody leave the truth for any reason other than a woman. Like when I think of every single brother who fell, it's been over a woman. That's my personal observation. I speak as a man. I'm just telling you what I've seen. I've never seen a man leave for any other reason. Only other reasons I could think of is money and drugs. You know what I'm saying? And I can't say I've seen it. Maybe one. Everyone else has been literally women. Because women are that powerful. I literally seen a brother leave because he said she gave him an ultimatum. It's me or the brothers. I never saw that brother again. No, I seen him one time. One time I seen him. You know what I'm saying? And then the brother had to put his head down because he knew he was weak. But when I mean I never saw him again, I never saw him again at camp. I never saw him again in class. You understand? I'm just letting you know, like I love women, have multiple women, and if it comes down to her or the truth, I'm choosing the Akim. You understand? And that's what every single one of them have to know, that like this truth is more important than anything. And it's damn near like, don't look at me, look in the direction I'm looking in, because that's the only way that we're going to make it to where we need to go. Women are the most powerful thing on the planet outside the truth, and it's why brothers have to be locked in. And I'm going to get into that for a minute, because the only thing that can fix a woman in the world is a man in the truth. And we're going to get that once we break down, you know what I'm saying, what he's talking about with the truth. Go ahead. You can read on.
Salaki, sir. I have to step down real quick from reading. I have to handle something. I got Natak up here to take over.
All right, no sweat. He knows where we're at?
Come on, I don't want to come. Natak, you could read.
Come on with it,
Salaki. We on 35, right?
Yep.
All right, Khan. Is he not great that maketh these things? Therefore, great is the truth, and stronger than all things.
Good.
Khan. All the earth calleth upon the truth, and the heaven blesseth. All works shake and tremble at it, and with it is no unrighteous thing.
Now this is how powerful the truth is. Go ahead.
Wine is wicked. The king is wicked. Women are wicked. All the children of men are wicked. And such are all their wicked works. And there is no truth in them. And their unrighteousness, although they shall perish.
Okay, brother. I don't know what you got going on, but there's a reverb in the background that's a little distracting. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put you on mute while you get that together. All right. So now, what he's saying here is that all of these things, the king is wicked, women are wicked. They all have the propensity, you understand, to be wicked or be a wicked instrument, such as wine. You understand, which causes so much turmoil. You know what I'm saying? People to forget to turn on each other. You understand? And in unrighteousness shall they also perish. So the thing that is greater and more powerful than all of them is the truth. 38. As for the truth, it endureth and is always strong. It liveth and conquereth forevermore. And how does it live and conquer? Think about all the things, you know what I'm saying, that brothers, you know what I'm saying, and sisters went through before the truth. Think about all the childhood trauma. Think about all the pain. You know what I'm saying? Think about who you became in here. You understand? Like I say Barakatah Yahweh wa Yahweh Shah every day for Commanding General Yohana, General Mahayman, you know what I'm saying, General Mayak, General Hazayan, all the generals all the way on down, you know what I'm saying, to the captains, Captain Nazaryak, because through this truth, they made me a better man, made me a better husband, made me a better father. You know what I'm saying? Like these, the truth is what makes you being able to conquer everything. You know what I'm saying? It's what gets you to leave the wickedness that was once inside of you alone. You understand? And strive towards righteousness. Nothing is more powerful than the truth. With her, there is no accepting of persons or rewards, meaning you can't bribe somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like when the truth matters, it doesn't matter who you are, what your status is, all that goes out the window. But she doeth the things that are just, and refraineth from all unjust and wicked things. And all men do well like of her works. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, once again, that's why when it comes down to finding the truth, you have to look at the works. See what fruit they're producing. I mean, that's what helped me find my decision, you know what I'm saying, or make my decision in where I was going to come and serve, where I was going to come put my brick in, where I was going to come give my energy. You know what I'm saying? Is I went and looked at the fruit that was being produced. And I'd look at this cat and I'd be like, nah, he got an edge up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a man, he want to look pretty. The truth said you're not supposed to maul the corners of your beard. If you can't keep something small, how you going to keep something big? Next. Turn on this next cat. They wearing all white, looking soft as can be. I'm like, nah, I'm good on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought the Lord was a man of war. Look at this cat. They talking about raping babies and being in strip clubs. I'm good on that. The truth cannot be there. Because you had to look at their fruit and see what they would produce. You get what I'm saying? I seen these brothers, and I seen General Muhammad. Every Israelite, whether you're in or outside the UPK, watches his class. You know what I'm saying? You see Captain Zayak, you know what I'm saying, a champion inside the Israelite community in the ISUPK. You see the fruit that they produce, and I say, okay, there's something here. You understand? This is a place where you can overcome. This is a place that brings strength onto brothers and sisters. That's the truth. Neither in her judgment is there any unrighteousness, as she is the strength, kingdom, power, and majesty of all ages. Blessed be the power of truth. Good.
I could take back the reading, sir.
Okay, no sweat.
Salaki, I'll do it.
No. So we'll let Rock take it. The water.
All right.
Rock, you got it. We're at 41.
Count out of one count. Verse 41. And with that he held his peace, and all the people then shouted, and he said, "Great is truth, and mighty above all things."
Good.
Then said the king unto him, "Ask what thou wilt more than is appointed in the writing, and we will give it thee, because thou art found wisest, and thou shalt sit next me, and shalt be called my cousin."
Good.
Then said he unto the king, "Remember thy vow, which thou hast vowed to build Jerusalem in the day when thou camest to thy kingdom."
You understand now? Remember. And this is something that I always try to tell people, right? This is Zerubbabel. This is the same Zerubbabel from the book of Ezra, because we're in Ezra's 1. Zerubbabel was a chief priest, you understand, at this time, a leader inside of Israel. And he used his power and influence to come over and to manipulate this situation for the Lord. You understand? Like he saw an opportunity for how he can go back and rebuild the temple. And he utilized it. You know what I'm saying? And he battled. Like this was a battle. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why he cut the cat who was talking about wine. Cut the cat who was talking about the king. But he did it in a way that he ain't offend the king. He did it in a way that even the king could understand and say, yeah, well, that did happen. You know what I'm saying? I can't say it didn't. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, still glorified the Lord, because it was the Lord's truth that he was speaking of. And as a result, this brother used this situation to be able to go back and rebuild the temple in Jerusalem. Because what he did for his nation. Matter of fact, drop where you're at. Give me Ezra, the 4th chapter and the 1st verse, right? So before we get back into this lesson about women, I just want to show you, you understand, what a leader actually does. Because this was a leader inside Israel. This was a man with wisdom. Give me Ezra chapter 4 verse 1.
Ezra chapter 4 verse 1. Now when the adversaries of Judah and Benjamin heard that the children of the captivity builded the temple unto the Lord God of Israel, then they came to Zerubbabel and to the chiefs of the fathers, and said unto them, Let us build with you, for we seek your God as ye do.
So now these are the adversaries of Judah. You understand? And let me explain something to you. Every other nation outside of Israel, every other nation, every other group of people outside the 12 tribe chart, 12 tribe sign, whatever you want to call it, anybody who's not a black, Hispanic, or Native Indian of Negro or Indian descent on their father's side is our adversary when it comes to rebuilding our nation and rebuilding our people. These are all our enemies. So Zerubbabel got the green light to be able to go restore Jerusalem. After you understand that battle that he had in front of Darius. And now you have heathens who come and say, we serve God just like you. You know what I'm saying? We want to join you in this. Read on.
And we do sacrifice unto him since the days of Esarhaddon, king of Assur, which brought us up hither. But Zerubbabel and Jeshua and the rest of the chiefs of the fathers of Israel said unto them, ye have nothing to do with us.
Ye have what? Slow down. Good.
Ye have nothing to do with us.
He said, ye have nothing to do with us. And that's how you know a man of God. When you start seeing, you understand, these fake Israelites, turning around and trying to find some lost tribe in another nation or something like that. You know what I mean? Changing the 12 tribe sign for Africa and Hawaiians and all this. You understand? It's because they have compromised. They have let the enemies inside the gate. A real man of God like Zerubbabel says, ye have nothing to do with us. Go ahead.
Ye have nothing to do with us to build an house unto our God.
You understand? And right now we have no temple. You understand? We have no direct house. The house is you. You understand? The house is every individual Israelite. We are Jerusalem now. You understand? Like we are Zion. It's not about a city. It's not about a landmass. It is about a people. You understand? And our people is the temple that needs to get rebuilt, because the scripture says your body is the body that houses the spirit of the living God. Ain't no other nation going to come in to help us rebuild our people. They are adversaries. You understand? They've come to try to destroy us. Somebody's saying there's no sound. Refresh your page. Let me know if y'all can hear me on YouTube. Put a 1 in the chat. All right. Let me just check YouTube real quick before I continue. Okay, they can all hear. Yeah, Judah Zealous, you gonna have to refresh your page. You know what I'm saying? Everyone else could hear. And to everybody else who's listening, man, subscribe to ISUPK Boston, subscribe to ISUPK Connecticut. If you haven't already, subscribe to the house at the top. We got different camp videos dropping this week, and we'll go from there. Okay, Most High in Christ, they said loud and clear. All right, so he says, ye have nothing to do with us when it comes down to rebuilding the temple of the Lord. Now, let me show you something now, right? You've had great men who have fallen because of women. Matter of fact, let's grab that. Give me Proverbs 31:1. We're gonna do a little bit of jumping around real quick, but give me Proverbs 31:1.
Proverbs chapter 31, verse 1. The words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him. Okay. What, my son, and what the son of my womb, and what the son of my vows. Give not thy strength unto women.
Do what?
Nor thy give not thy strength unto women.
You understand? As a brother, you cannot give your strength onto a woman, although they are the most powerful thing on the planet. You understand? The only thing that can combat them is a man that is in the truth. And with all this, you understand, controversy over the Roe versus Wade being overturned, the only thing that can fix the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian woman is a man who's strong enough inside the truth. And you can't give your strength over to a woman. You understand? Like, you can't turn around and be broken because you have a woman who left you. You understand? Because she left with your child, because she cheated on you. Listen, man, we're outnumbered 12-1. You understand? You can get yourself another woman. Like don't go and bury all of you inside of her. You cannot give her your strength. Your strength is needed elsewhere. And that's not to say that you ought to neglect her. That's not to say you can't love your woman. It's not to say you can't connect with her. But it is to say that I personally don't care what you got going on. You understand? If you want to be that weak, go. You understand? But your strength is needed elsewhere. Your strength is going to be needed at camp. Your strength is going to be needed at teaching class. Your strength is going to be needed in the prison program, in the food drive. You understand? All the operations that we have going on trying to rebuild the temple like Zerubbabel did. Rebuilding our people to ourselves. We ain't got time for you to be crying over some woman, some broad, you understand? Your wife, ex-wife, whoever the hell it is. When you got 5 of them if you want. You understand? What are you crying about? That's what blows my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, brothers will leave the truth over a woman like you can't have another one. It's insane to me. I can't even comprehend it. But you cannot give your strength over to a woman, man. Finish that verse.
Nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings.
You understand? Nor to the ways which destroyeth kings. And the number one thing that'll destroy a king is a woman. You understand? You have to be locked in. You understand? You have to be locked in all the way. Let me just see if there's any questions in the chat.
No questions.
No question. Just some idiot who doesn't understand the title because he got here 3 minutes ago. What a dumbass. All right. So here's what else I want you to do. Drop where you're at, right, and go to. Matter of fact, yeah, let's go there. Go to Isaiah 4:1.
Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man.
7 women shall take hold of one man. What day is this? Now, a fake Israelite is going to tell you, oh, this is the kingdom. You can't have more than one woman now. What are you talking about? All right, I'm going to help you all out real quick. Go back 2 verses up more in Isaiah, the 3rd chapter.
Isaiah chapter 3, verse 24. And it shall come to pass. Give me Isaiah
3:25. No, you know what? Start at 24. Start at 24.
Come on, one gun. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 24. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink.
This is the Lord talking about women right here. Instead of a sweet smell, there shall be stink. This is for all you women that all y'all want to do is smoke hookah and eat crab legs. This is for every sister who over there crying right now about Roe vs. Wade because you can't murder your children to keep eating crab legs. Read on.
And instead of a girdle or rent, and instead of well set hair, baldness, and
baldness. You understand? Instead of a girdle, rent. You understand? The Lord is talking about destroying all your vanity. And instead of well set hair, baldness, alopecia, you understand? Y'all all gonna be Wakanda forever. You understand? Jada Pinkett Smith, you understand? Crying over her bald head. Good.
And instead of a stomacher, a girdle of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty.
You understand? All these things, all your vanity is what the Lord's going to come for. Read on.
Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war.
So now, remember, it was talking about in that day. What day are we talking about? In the day when curses are upon Israel. In the day when men are falling by the sword. Like, I don't know about y'all. You turn on the news. How many brothers got shot last night? How many brothers is going to die on the 4th of July? You understand? Under the guise of fireworks. How many of us get murdered by the police? How many of us get murdered by each other? How many are dead right now because of the war on drugs? You understand? The majority of the hard rocks is all locked up. You know what I'm saying? You know how many of our warriors is locked up in jail right now, never going to see the light of day because of the war on drugs? What day are we talking about here? Read on.
And her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground.
Our gates have lamented and mourned. We have no protection. We are completely destroyed inside of America. You understand? All of these things are happening right now. So you mean to tell me in the kingdom of heaven's gates is going to lament and mourn? Brothers is going to be still dying by the sword. These sisters are still going to be crying over being bald like Jada. And Will Smith is the perfect example of a man who gave his strength onto a woman. You understand? The perfect example. Don't be Will Smith. Like, Will Smith can join IUIC. You understand? He can't come in the UPK as is. He needs to change his life. Now read verse 4.
Verse 4. And in that day, 7
Slow down, slow down, Ock, slow down. And in that day, what day are we talking about? The day that we're talking about is everything that we just read. Everything that we just read, man. Good?
And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man.
You understand? In that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man. Why? Because the abundance of real men is not around right now. Because you got men right now trying to dress like little Susie Vert. They getting locked up with the Rico, like Young Thug, who also wears dresses. Half of them is in the Pride Parade. You know what I'm saying? It's Pride Month, right? They running around with a rainbow flag. They wearing purple fringe T-shirts. You know what I'm saying? Chasing men, telling you could only have one wife, and then lying to you about this scripture, saying this is the kingdom. Good?
We will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel.
We will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Meaning what? They're like, listen, we could take care of ourselves, but there's something that we do need from you. Good?
Only let us be called by thy name.
Only let us be called by thy name. Meaning they want to be this man's wife. 7 women. Go ahead.
To take away our reproach.
Now this is the important part. Now we were talking earlier about how powerful and important women are, right? But what is reproach? Matter of fact, let me ask y'all online. Y'all could go ahead, type it into the chat. What is reproach? If y'all don't know, what should you do? Look it up. If you don't know what reproach is, get a dictionary. Let me see who's got the definition. I'm going to give y'all a second to type it in. I'm going to give y'all a second. I see some of the answers coming in.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to read the definition for y'all. All right. Reproach, an expression of rebuke or disapproval. The act or action of reproaching or disapproving. A cause or occasion of blame, discredit, or disgrace. To bring into discredit. To make something a matter of reproach. There you go. See, Nadia looked it up. The map cartographer looked it up. You understand? Some of y'all guessed. Somebody said sin, shame, or disapproval. That's correct. All of that is above. You understand? Dinesha actually went and copied the definition. That's what y'all got to do. If we're gonna use words, let's not guess. You understand? That's where fake philosophies come in, because people lean into their own understandings or guess instead of looking it up. So now these sisters, what do they have the reproach from? They have the reproach from what the Lord did in the 3rd chapter. So the only thing that can help remove that reproach is a man in the truth. And it's like brothers always turn around and they read this scripture, you know what I'm saying, to go get more than one wife, but they don't understand what comes with it. They don't understand what comes with the territory of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to be dealing with 7 women who have reproach on them. You understand? Like 7 women shall take heed of one man, but you don't understand the gravity or the responsibility that comes with getting them correct. You know what I mean? Like the philosophies that they're under. You understand? How many sisters are survivors of abuse? You get what I'm saying? Like, and that's not as much as a direct shame, because you know what I'm saying, y'all were victimized and survived it. But those are things you're going to have to help them heal from. You know what I'm saying? Sisters that might have actually had abortions. Sisters that, I mean, what's crazy to me is like I feel like in this generation there's more sisters that's involved in gangbanging than ever in life. You know what I'm saying? I seen a meme that was hilarious where it was like stop calling me queen, sir. I am a gang member. And I laughed, but at the same time I'm like Jesus Christ, like y'all are not supposed to be out here acting like G-Unit soldiers. That's a part of the reproach. A part of the reproach is like what you read inside Deuteronomy when it talks about the woman who wouldn't set her the sole of her foot on the ground. Now they online, you know what I'm saying, screaming world star, fighting in the middle of gas stations, ripping each other's clothes off. And it takes a man of the Lord who can remove the reproach of a woman. You understand? Because when it says, let us be called by your name, your name is also your reputation. And as a brother, you have to have a good reputation in the truth. You have to be locked in the truth that you are dependable, predictable, and reliable. You have to be locked in that this way you can get to a point, you understand, where when you deal with that sister, you can make her better. You understand? You can show her that she is able to fight her own weaknesses and her own fears and her own insecurities. That's what you got to do. So don't turn around and think like this is just going to be a cakewalk. Because remember, she is the number one thing that you can fall weak to. So you better be locked in the truth, because the truth is going to be the only thing that allows you to endure it. The truth is going to be the only thing that has you overcome it. The truth is going to be the only thing that permits you to be able to remove that reproach. All right?
Salaki, sir.
Good?
What you're bringing up is so heavy, sir, because this nature is naturally in our women. If you look up on the left-hand side, growing up, who were the men that the women would gravitate to? It was men with reputation. These men might not have righteous reputations because we didn't know what righteousness were, but the drug dealers, the thugs, the men who these women felt their reputation could protect them. Those were the women. Those were the men that the women would go after. So I can say.
Listen, and that's for sure. You understand a fact, right? Hold on one second. Let me see something. I don't know who this cat is, but I'm just gonna remove him from the chat because he's counterproductive to everything. But back to hold on. That'll do it. All right. You know what I'm saying? So back to what we were saying here. This is literally what our job is. You know what I'm saying? And like as to what you were saying, with a reputation, brothers have to have a good reputation. Like your reputation, I think Captain Mashak said this to me, man. In this line of profession, your reputation is currency. You know what I mean? Like your reputation can save your life. Trooper Mawasar. Oh, you said right. I thought you said he just got in class. That's what the hell he needs to do. He needs to get in class and just shut his mouth. But do we have any questions on topic? If y'all are on Clubhouse, you could raise your hand and come up, or you could type them into the chat. Any questions online, you could also type them in on YouTube. I'll give y'all a second if y'all want to get them in before we move on.
Salakia, sir.
Good.
We have a question on Clubhouse.
All right, what is it?
Sister Isaiah. So if a woman doesn't have hair or she is battling alopecia, is that due to transgressions or just being wicked in general?
Yeah, like that is a curse from the Lord. You know what I'm saying? I think General Muhammad said it best. He's like he's like the black woman's mouth, and when I say black, also we're talking about Latinas and Native Indians, has become a WMD, a weapon of mass destruction. You understand? And as a result, he's turning around and saying that it's also directly connected to your mouth, the evil things that you say. And I'm speaking in general right now. I don't know directly with you what you've done, what you haven't done, but all of these things that the Lord is fed up with, and as a result, the Lord said that your hair is your glory. You know what I mean? Like a woman's hair is her glory. So as a result, it says that he scabbed her head. You understand? As to why? You understand? For what reason? For what purpose? Because that's a part of your vanity. You know what I mean? Like go look at the hair industry right now. Like literally, the Korean. Okay, look at the number one exports, right? When it comes down to, you know what I'm saying, certain countries. East India's third largest export is hair. But who's buying all that hair? What are they doing with that hair? The Koreans is over there buying it, turning it into weave. They selling everybody Remy. You know what I'm saying? And now Kim Jong-un got nuclear weapons. Because every single black woman on the planet is going to Korean beauty supply stores for the hair to look good, so that y'all can go get 20 to 28 inches worth of a bundle. This is what happens. Like, that's how much power that we have. You know what I'm saying? Like, Korea is a superpower because of black women and the beauty industry. Where do you think all that money going? That money going back to Korea. That money going back to Kim Jong-un, so he can go and side with Russia and China so that they could take Taiwan and start World War III. Now tell me I'm lying. Go look this up. You know what I'm saying? And once again, says that there's nothing wrong, you understand, with a sister wearing weave. You know what I'm saying? I know some of y'all in the winter, you got that type of hair, your hair will crack, you need a protective style. Listen, get down with yourself. You know what I'm saying? My point being is that you're supposed to have that naturally. And so many sisters got to wear wigs and so on and so forth because of what the Lord had put on them. This brother said, unbelievable. You are hilarious. You understand? So these are the things that transpire. These are the things that go down. You know what I'm saying? Because of our wickedness. And since it might be something you did in this lifetime, might be something from the past, but the point is to get right now. You know what I'm saying? The point is that in no matter what condition that you are in, to come home to the truth now. You know what I'm saying? To serve the Lord now. To leave all that wickedness behind. Whatever it is, however we will live in, all of that has to change. The old you has to die. The old you has to die for the new you to be, you understand, to be reborn. All right? Let me see. I see no questions over here. We got any more questions on Clubhouse? I can't see the chat.
We have no more questions. Just a lot of agreement, sir.
Okay, no sweat. All right. So now before I go and, you know what I'm saying, like change gears on the topic, just remember, right? Greater men than any of the men that, you know what I'm saying, you see teaching today have fell because of women. You know what I'm saying? Adam fell because of a woman. Solomon fell because of women. Listen, the split in Israel. Matter of fact, let's grab that real quick. You understand? How many of y'all understand why the kingdom of Israel split? Let's give me 1 Kings, the 11th chapter, and start at verse 1.
1 Kings chapter 11, verse 1. But King Solomon loved many strange women.
He what?
Loved many strange women.
King Solomon loved many strange women. He loved different nations, good?
Together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites.
You understand? All these different heathen women he married. And notice it said the daughter of Pharaoh. Like, he didn't just deal with lowborns. Like, you understand? He went and dealt with royalty, nobility out of these different places. Good?
Of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them.
You understand? Because the spirit of the law is that we were never supposed to mix. We were never supposed to go and deal with, you understand, women from another nation. Interracial marriage is a sin. Read on.
Neither shall they come in unto you, for surely they will turn away your heart after their God.
You understand? Surely, like the Lord didn't turn around and say, you might, this might happen. He said, no, it will happen if you deal with the woman. You understand? Like when we read in Ezra's concerning women, it says men have sinned because of them. Because if you fall weak in the truth, if you fall weak to what the Lord laid down, this is what's going to happen, that they changed his heart, that he sought after another God. A woman can get you to leave your religion behind. You understand? Your mothers, your fathers, forget about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Forget about this covenant that was laid down. Read on.
Neither shall they come in unto you, for surely they will turn away your hearts after their God.
And that's exactly what happened. He started worshiping their gods. Go ahead.
Solomon clave unto these in love, and he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines.
I don't know how the hell he had time for all this, man. I really don't. That's insane to me. Good.
And his wives turned away his heart.
Listen, I ain't mad at him. I guess I'm sitting here looking at it from captivity and me not being a king and having all the time in the world. You know what I'm saying? But that's a lot, Doc. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. He got a lot on his hands. I guess, I have multiple women, so I guess that's what the brothers who got one and say, man, one is enough for me. You know what I'm saying? Like me, 10 is enough for me. I don't know how he got 700. That's crazy. Read on.
Count out of one kind. For it came to pass when Solomon was old that his wives turned away his heart after other gods, and his heart was not perfect with the Lord his God, as was the heart of David his father.
You understand? Now, David's heart was perfect with the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Because even when David did sin, he repented. You understand? He completely changed his ways and the Lord forgave him. You understand? Solomon, however, in his old age, he did worse than David. Good?
For Solomon went after Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Zidonians, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites.
You understand? So he started going into all these false gods. Good?
And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord, and went not fully after the Lord, and as did David his father.
You understand? He didn't follow after David his father.
Then did Solomon build an high place for Chemosh, the abomination of Moab, in the hill that is before Jerusalem, and for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon.
You understand? All these false different gods, you understand? From Molech and Chemosh, you understand? The Moabite and Ammonite gods. Go ahead.
And likewise did he for all his strange wives, which burnt incense and sacrificed unto their gods.
Good.
And the Lord was angry with Solomon, because his heart was turned from the Lord, God of Israel, which had appeared unto him twice.
Good.
And had commanded him concerning this thing, that he should not go after other gods. But he kept not that which the Lord commanded.
And what the Lord commanded him, he kept not over women. Because once again, that's how powerful women are. That women can get the king of Israel to go and worship another god. Good? And sidebar, right? Real quick, right? Imagine if enough sisters had integrity, right? Like women being like the most powerful thing outside the truth. Imagine if women didn't want drug dealers. Like it goes both ways. Like we always say that if our men stop loving whores, all women will stop being them. So if brothers stopped going to the strip club, sisters would stop stripping because they would need to find a different profession. You know what I'm saying? Like a woman's, you understand, end all be all, the beginning and end of all her problems is usually a man. So imagine if a brother would not date a stripper, like these nasty ass celebrities, you know what I'm saying, pulling all of them out the strip club trying to marry him. Sisters would not be strippers. Well, imagine on the other hand, imagine if sisters turned around and was like, bro, you're a drug dealer? Yeah, I'm good. Brothers would change their professions. You understand? Like if sisters could change that reproach and that mindset. And that's where we have to be at. That's what we have to be at when it comes to drug dealing. That's what we have to be at when it comes to all manner of wickedness and unrighteousness. Somebody got to take a stand for it. Read on.
Wherefore the Lord said unto Solomon, for as much as this is done of thee, and thou hast not kept my covenant and my statutes, which I have commanded thee, I will surely rend the kingdom from thee, and will give it to thy servant.
So now he says, I will rent the kingdom from you. He's going to rip the kingdom out of Solomon's hands and said, I'm going to give it to your servant. His servant at the time was an Ephraimite by the name of Jeroboam. He was the second in command in Israel. So the Lord is saying, because you broke my covenant and didn't keep my statutes, I'm going to surely rend the kingdom from your hand. I'm ripping it from your hands. Go ahead.
Notwithstanding in thy days, I will not do it for David thy father's sake, but I will rend it out of thy hand of thy son.
You understand? So the Lord had mercy on him because of how much he loved David. But this is what I need y'all to know right now. Your father's righteousness can't save you in this day. Your righteousness cannot save your sons or your daughters once they become of age. Every man, every woman has to seek out their own soul's salvation. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a brother, you have to lock in inside this truth. If you are a sister, even if you are married to a righteous man, you have to lock in inside this truth, because the Lord is going to judge you off of your own merit, off of your own actions, off of how you live and your decisions. And he's going to do the same for our children. You understand? But in this situation, he had mercy on him and says, I'm not going to do it, you understand, in thy days, which is extremely important. Matter of fact, you know what? Look, I got to mark this down in my head for when somebody brings up Jehoiakim and Jeconiah, when they turn around and say that was forever, because it says in his days. You understand? Just like it did here. So that's I'm putting that one down. That's when I'm coming for the chopping block. Read on.
Howbeit I will not rend away all the kingdom, but will give one tribe to thy son for David my servant's sake.
You understand? So now we know that he ruled over Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. So why did he say one tribe, even though you understand he was ruling over them? Because Judah isn't counting in this instance. It's talking about another tribe he's going to rule over. So the other tribe is going to be Benjamin. So Judah and Benjamin was going to be ruled over by him. Levi were Israelites, but weren't counted as a tribe. You understand? Dan was counted as a tribe, because if you count Dan and Levi, it's not 12 tribes, it's 13. Levi wasn't counted because inheritance is what makes you a tribe. Inheritance is land. Levi did not have their own land. Levi had land in every single province of Israel because they were the priest. So Levites lived in Jerusalem. Levites lived in Ephraim. You know what I'm saying? In the land of Ephraim, in the land of Zebulun, and the land of Gad. Once the kingdom splits, just to give you, you know what I'm saying, a little bit of history. Once the kingdom split, the Levites were sent back into Judea, and Simeon's borders shifted. So Simeon moved into the north instead of the south. Ephraim moved more north. All that became Samaria, and then the Levites were kicked out because they wanted to serve the God of Israel and not the gods of the other nations like the northern kingdom did. And then that's how Judah, Benjamin, and Levi in mass ended up ruling together or living together. So they're not being counted as a tribe because they still didn't have inheritance because of the priesthood. So, but the tribe that he was ruling over was Judah and Benjamin. Read on.
And for Jerusalem's sake, which I have chosen. And the Lord stirred up an adversary unto Solomon.
Hey, real quick, slow down. John Johnson, just so you know, Dan was done away with. You don't want to think done away with. Dan is still around, but Dan went into the Assyrian captivity and didn't come out. Because when Dan, if you go and read in the book of Judges, I want to say somewhere around Judges 11 and 12, they never went and conquered their land. And as a result, they didn't grow as a tribe in land and power and sons. And they eventually were absorbed into Manasseh. Because if you go and look where Dan and Manasseh was, you know what I'm saying, this is the region that they lived in. So when they left into captivity, they're amongst Israel. You know what I'm saying? But they weren't large enough and mighty enough to continue to be a tribe. That's why they're not mentioned in Revelations, the 7th chapter. But when you read Genesis, the 49th chapter, it talks about how he'll be an adder by the way. You know what I'm saying? Like how snakes hide. They're subtle. You know what I'm saying? But still strikes the rider when he least expects it, because Dan is going to be amongst us. You know what I'm saying? But he's not going to be a tribe with inheritance. Levi is going to take and fill his place. So that's why you go and you don't see Dan mentioned in Revelation 7. You see Levi, because Levi now has inheritance because we're under the order of Melchizedek. So we're not under the Levitical priesthood anymore. The priesthood is opened to all tribes. We're a nation of kings and priests, which is why Christ as a Judite is the head of the order of Melchizedek, and which is why the other Judites that were underneath him, or Benjamites like Paul, became priests. And the reason as to why they are priests and are still around is because under the order of Melchizedek, the priesthood is open to all 12 tribes. So Levi gets inheritance now and doesn't only magnify the office of priesthood. All right. You can continue reading.
And the Lord stirred up an adversary unto Solomon, Hadad the Edomite. He was of the king's seed in Edom. For it came to pass when David was in Edom, and Joab, the captain of the host, was going up to bury the slain, after he had smitten every male in Edom.
You know, I don't think I need directly all that. I want to kind of just fast forward to the point. Yeah, just drop down to verse 30. Drop down to verse 30. You know what I'm saying? Just to tie all this together. Good?
And Ahijah caught the new garment that was on him and rent it in 12 pieces.
Now remember, we're like a visual people. This is like with the 2 sticks of wood in Ezekiel. You know what I'm saying? Being utilized to teach. And that's why here's another thing too. If y'all don't have no soft signs in your camp, go and make them. You know what I'm saying? Like, start teaching. You know what I'm saying? Pull up imagery for brothers and sisters to see. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't think that one little, wooden Caesar Borgia, you know what I'm saying, that we throw on the ground, which I love the sound of that joint. That's one of my favorite things to do at camp. I love slamming that joint. But, whatever signs y'all don't have in the wooden signs, go and get some visuals. You know what I'm saying? We got one sign where it's got pictures of all the companies that benefited off of slavery. Wachovia, all the insurance companies, Tiffany, you know what I'm saying, Diamond Co., Norfolk and Suffolk, the train company. You know what I'm saying? Bring these things out because we're a visual people. They want to see pictures. You know what I'm saying? If you have a Russian icon book, go photocopy those pages, put them on soft signs, and show where they come from. You know what I'm saying? How they came from the Byzantine Empire, how they were hidden inside of Russia, which is why they're Russian icons from Byzantium. You know what I mean? Like go show them the ancient images of Christ being painted black. Find the pictures of the catacombs. You know what I'm saying? With David looking black and wearing a damn bucket hat. You know what I mean? Like go and find all of those pictures. You know what I'm saying? Because we are a visual people. Read on.
And Salaki. But he shall Salaki. And he said to Jeroboam, take thee 10 pieces, for thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, behold, I will rend the kingdom out of the hand of Solomon, and will give 10 tribes to thee. But he shall have 1 tribe for my servant King David's sake.
You understand? And this is where the split happened. So this is where Jeroboam was taking 10 pieces. So Jeroboam was taking all those tribes. You know what I'm saying? So Ephraim, all the way on down to Issachar, was coming with him. You understand? But Benjamin was going with Solomon. Good.
And for Jerusalem's sake, the city which I have chosen out of all the tribes of Israel.
You understand? So he says, I'm going to leave you 1 tribe for Jerusalem's sake. You know what I mean? The city which he had chosen out of all the tribes, because that was Jerusalem was like the equivalent to like Washington D.C. in Maryland. It was our nation's capital. It's where the temple was. It's where the palace was. You know what I'm saying? Like it's where the king sat. You know what I'm saying? But it was split, and now there was a king in the north and a king in the south. Ephraim ruled in the north, and then he ruled in the south, and all of this happened over women. You understand? Because Solomon, before Christ, right? Solomon was the wisest man that was on the face of the earth. And even him, in all the wisdom that the Lord blessed him with, still fell weak to women. All right? Okay, back to YouTube, right? Let me know if y'all got sound on YouTube. Type a 1 in, and if not, Trooper Mawasar, you might have to refresh. I don't know what's going on with some of y'all pages, but let's find out. If not, I'll try to get down to the bottom of it. Now, does anybody have any questions off topic? If you got any off topic questions, you could type them in, or if you're on Clubhouse, you can go ahead and raise your hand. Okay, everyone could hear. Yeah, Mawasar, you're gonna have to refresh your page. All right. And if anybody on YouTube has any questions, you can go ahead and type them in. And then just so y'all know, with everybody watching this, if you want to catch these replays, this is not going to stay on Cross the Line. I'm going to need y'all to go ahead and subscribe to ISUPK Boston as well as ISUPK Connecticut. All right. Rock, let me know if we got any questions on Clubhouse.
As of right now, sir, no questions on Clubhouse.
All right, I'm going to give y'all a second if y'all want to type them in, if somebody wants to raise their hands.
Somebody raised their hand, sir.
You could bring them up.
No, I don't want to come. We have somebody by the name of Dr. Smith.
Okay, you got a question?
Dr. Smith, you're unmuted. If you got a question or a comment. His equipment must be off. I can't hear a word he's saying.
You might want to leave and come back in the room. You know what I'm saying? We can't hear you, Smith. Oh, excuse me, doctor. If you're a real doctor, you earn the title. And I don't mean to offend you, but there's some fake doctors on Clubhouse, in the conscious community, all that.
Testing 1 2.
Okay, hey, I got you now. What's up, Ak?
Yeah. So again, I'm changing my name. Those are my initials.
Oh, DR.
I make music. Yeah, so that's like my stage name. And then in Clubhouse, everybody mentions it. I'm like, oh man, I gotta change this name.
That's funny. Yeah, there's some cat calls himself Dr. Julio. He's not a real doctor. You know what I mean? And or Dr. Reggie from the conscious community. You know what I'm saying? They're
Right,
you know,
right, right,
Dr. Dre. But I got you,
right.
Dr. Smith. What's up, brother?
Exactly. Exactly. So I've been making beats since I was like 15. So like Dr. J was like one of my idols. That's my initials. So I always went to Dr. Smith. So yeah, I just have one quick question. I appreciate the time. Um, did Levi carry out all the judgments in Israel? Just like if somebody had to be stoned, or somebody like whenever they broke the law or broke the commandments, were they the ones carrying out the judgments?
Yeah, they would for sure carry out the judgments, and then there was also certain stipulations in the law, like when it comes down to I believe if your child was a drunkard or rebellious, where the parents were the ones who were supposed to cast the first stone. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Even when it came down to certain stonings, stonings was a public thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it was something done by the crowd that was there, you know what I'm saying, when the judgment was executed inside of the land. So and there's also, stoning isn't the only method of execution, but it was for sure the priesthood who was a part of the judgment and carrying that out. So depending on you know what I'm saying, depending on the things, like there was also times where the elders of a city would come, because there was actually judges there. Like inside, remember, Israel, before we had a king, had judges that would sit inside each gate, and they would judge these matters. And they wouldn't all be Levites. Sometimes they would just be, wise men out of the tribe itself. So together, they became the elders in the cities. So it would be the elders of the tribe along with the Levites, you know what I'm saying, who would have this court system, and they would be the ones, you know what I'm saying, who would magnify that office.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense now. Because when I think about the stoning, when Christ was writing on the ground, and then it was like a little gray area there. I was like, why are the people stoning them? But yeah, that makes sense now.
Yeah, because there was like a lot of different. I think there was certain judgments where the people could take, you know what I'm saying, justice into their own hands. Like I mean, honestly, this is I talk about this with Captain Zakar all the time. This is honestly like one of the most gangster laws in the Bible. You ever hear the city of refuge?
Yeah, I'm vaguely familiar.
Okay, so what happens in the city of refuge is, let's say somebody committed something out of manslaughter, where you didn't mean to kill them. Maybe y'all were playing, y'all were working together, and you accidentally killed somebody. You turned yourself over to the Levites and the elders in the city, and you explain it to them. And what happens is that they will tell you the city of refuge you can go to, and you got to gather your stuff and go. Now, the family who seeks retribution or justice, they have an option to go and pursue you and kill you now on some, eye for an eye, because you killed their family members. So they have the right, if they want to go take justice into their own hands. And if you get to the city of refuge, the Lord was with you and you're safe. If you don't make it to the city of refuge and they grab you beforehand, they can do whatever they will. They can kill you, whatever the case may be. If they want to have mercy and just whoop your ass, they can do it. But within the law, they would be right for doing so because of that judgment. You know what I'm saying? So you have different penalties and different punishments, but it would be the it would be the elders of the city and the Levites who were policing it and judging the matter.
Wow. Okay.
You even had certain matters where, once again, like for example, Solomon would judge, the king would judge. You want to think about it like the way Moses set things up was almost like state and federal court. So he set up the officers and the captains inside these different lands to deal with and judge matters. But then the biggest matters, the ones that they couldn't handle, they brought to Moses. Well, that's also something similar to like the matters that were brought before the king with Solomon. Like if you remember the women who were arguing over the baby,
right?
And then Solomon was like, "All right, cut the baby in half." And then, you know what I'm saying, give each one of them a piece. And then the woman who says, man, she can have her, he was like, that's the mother. So, you know what I'm saying, these were people who were in authority over Israel, and matters would be judged by them. You know what I'm saying? But the prophets, the priest, and the elders, it was always like a court system.
Okay. All right. And then did they document the judgments, or was that not part of the practice?
Well, you have, I'm sure that they would have, you know, like we don't we don't have access to the libraries because they've directly been destroyed. You know what I'm saying? So so the major things that we have inside our libraries and our collection is like you know, just what we have in the record. So for example, we have instances of some judgments that took place, like for example, I guess Numbers, the 6th chapter, the brother who was stoned for carrying sticks on the Sabbath.
Yes, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure that somewhere along the line, you know what I mean, there's a paper trail, somebody was keeping it, but remember, our nation was destroyed. So, you know, we don't have all the records, you know what I'm saying? Like now we find pieces of maybe pottery with receipts from merchants and stuff like that. We find inscriptions like the Tel Dan, which, you know, mention stories of David outside the Bible. But remember, like, the Dead Sea Scrolls was found in the Qumran caves because they were hiding them, because when Rome came, they took everything. And then even before Rome, you know what I'm saying, when we were under the Persians, you know what I'm saying, they took everything and we had to bring everything back. Like we just read earlier with Zerubbabel when he rebuilt the temple. So we're a nation that's been conquered over and over again. So I mean, all of our records had been destroyed. But like anything, I'm sure there was documentation, because we keep documentation today.
Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I don't mean to take up too much time. I got one more question though.
Okay, no, come on with it. You know what I'm saying? Like this last 20 minutes is gonna be open for all questions.
I appreciate it. So, real quick, so Abraham, was Abraham's grandfather Methuselah?
I don't remember his lineage offhand. I know Terah was his father, and
Okay.
if we go back far enough, I'd have to look at it directly. It's not something I remember offhand.
Okay. No, maybe I'm getting confused. I think Noah's father was Methuselah, but so was Abraham aware of their lifespan? Because it always seems like to me when I hear about the story of Sarah being pregnant in her old age, to me, if he was already aware of their lineage and how long they actually used to live, I was like a little bit like there's gray area there with his understanding of no, this should be normal, because 60 years old is not old if you are aware that we used to live longer. You know what I'm saying? Like, was he expecting not to live that long, or I just like that's kind of like
Well,
gray area for me, because I'm like, he would know the story of Noah and his forefathers because they were pretty close. No,
without a doubt. And but here's what I'm saying, right? If you go and you look at Abraham's timeline, that's after the flood. The Lord said he was going to adjust, you know what I'm saying, the way that they lived pre-flood.
Right.
So by the time, you know what I'm saying, like after Noah and after them, that would have already been dwindling down, you know what I'm saying, by the time you get to Abraham. You know what I'm saying? So as a result, that would be considered, you know what I'm saying, more older age. Now, maybe the gap would have been a little bit different. I mean, I can't tell you when, women were hitting menopause then, you know what I'm saying, because they hit around 40 now, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
40, 50, sometime around then. But what you can see is that there was definitely a dwindling down of the lifespans, you know what I'm saying? So by the time you get to Abraham, it would make sense for that to be an older age.
Okay, yeah, okay, so that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? But then you got some sisters, man. I seen a picture of a sister online, you know what I'm saying, said she was like, I think, 68 or something like that. She ain't look a day over 40.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that, right.
You know what I'm
And her
saying?
daughter, you didn't know who was the mother.
Listen, Black Don't Crack, they got a brother in school. I hate to throw him under the bus. I was joking with him yesterday, but the brother Zarai, he told me he was 30. I thought the brother was 20. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I just turned 30. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, that's the fruits and vegetables.
You know what I'm saying? So it just be funny as hell. I'm like, you 17, Ock. He start laughing. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh man, yeah, I appreciate your time, man. The water again.
Hey, no sweat. I on the ball.
Hey, Salaki, sir.
Just give me one second, Malak. I'm about to you right now. And just so y'all know, right, when it comes down to judgment, you know what I'm saying? Everybody is to know that if you have a trespass with somebody, you are to go to them and them alone. And then if y'all two cannot work it out on your own, then you go to the captain over your city and you fill out a report for a trespass. You understand? Because we have a trespass council. You know what I'm saying? And we have a trespass department in which, you understand, the generals sit in on the councils with your camp leader, that this way you can work out your issues. Like, the thing that keeps all of us here together is each other. And sometimes issues will arise. It could be for business. It could be for personal reasons. Whatever the case may be, we have our own court system here. We have our own methodology and ways of doing things. So make sure that you follow those protocols. Make sure that you do what our king says. And if somebody offends you, no matter what their rank, you understand, you go to them and them alone. You understand? If it's a brother above you, it says admonish him like a father. Hey, Salaki, sir, just so you know, what you said earlier offended me. And now if the brother hears you, he's gonna change his behavior. Y'all two can dap up, go have a drink together, whatever the case may be, and it never happens again. Water under the bridge. But if there is an issue, you know what I'm saying, that you two cannot work out, you understand, you bring it to your camp leader, y'all fill out a report, and then y'all get down to the bottom of it. And that's how this thing keeps moving. That's how this machine stays greased. You understand? And none of these cogs got a crack or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? We keep everything how it's got to go. So make sure y'all are handling that. Because there's no reason why anybody should be acting passive aggressive with each other, especially we have enough enemies. We got Christians, Muslims, fake Israelites, the Jewish man, you understand, the Rainbow Coalition and community, every religion on the face of the earth, every government, you know what I'm saying, from the FBI on down and COINTELPRO trying to destroy us. We don't need to destroy each other, all right? What were you going to say, Malak?
Hey, come on, sir. Salaki, I was about to say, like, could we see an example of, because the brother asked about the keeping records of the judgments. You know, in the scripture when it talks about the children begotten of them should not enter to the congregation to the third generation.
Okay.
So someone would have to have documentation. I mean, because you're talking about a third generation. That's like after the third generation. That's like after a great grandson. So someone would have to have record of that, because whoever the priest was, or the leading priest or high priest would have, probably wouldn't even have lived that long. So it would have had to be some type of documentation to keep record that this is now the generation that these.
You breaking up real bad, but you know what? Rock, give me Ezra, the 2nd chapter and the 1st verse, and then after you read that, we're gonna jump down to, I believe, verse 50. Probably 58 or 59.
Count out of one kind. Ezra, chapter 2. You said Ezra or Esdras?
Ezra, chapter 2, verse 1.
Ezra, chapter 2, verse 1. Now these are the children of the province that went up out of the captivity of those which had been carried away, whom Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had carried away unto Babylon.
You understand? So now what you're about to see is you're about to see records that was kept, you understand, for the number of those that were returning back to Jerusalem with Ezra. Go ahead.
And came again unto Jerusalem and Judah, every one unto his city.
Go ahead.
Which came with Zerubbabel, Jeshua, Nehemiah, Sarai, Reliah, Mordecai, Bilshan, Mizpah, Bigvin, Rehum, Baanah, The number of the men of the children of Israel.
You understand? So now this is the number of the men of the children of Israel. Read verse 3 and then drop down to verse 58.
3. The children of Parash, 2,172. Verse 58.
So now it's just running down the number of people that was returning, right? So now read verse 58.
58. All the Nethinims and the children of Solomon's servants were 392.
All right, so now we get all the way down here. It's running through all the offices from the Nethims, the servants of Solomon, and then it also gets into the priesthood. Go ahead.
And these were they which went up from Telmelah, Telhassah, Cherub, Adon, and Immer, but they could not show their father's house and their seed, whether they were of Israel.
So now what you're about to read is the following is going to be those who get removed from the priesthood, even if they knew them. They didn't have any documentation or records to prove their house, because that's what would happen. You had to prove your pedigree, so there were absolutely records that came down to your pedigree. And really, I know a lot of people like going to Numbers 1 and 18 to prove you're the seed of your father, but this scripture says seed. This scripture proves you have to prove the seed of your father for you to be Israel. Drop down to 61.
61. And of the children of the priests, the children of Habiah, the children of Kaz, the children of Barzillai, which took a wife of the daughters of Barzillai the Gileadite, and was called after their name.
Read on.
These sought their register among those that were reckoned by genealogy.
Good.
But they were not found. Therefore were they as polluted, put from the priesthood.
You understand? So because they couldn't have their registry found, because they didn't have this record when they were going back, they were put from the priesthood. You know what I'm saying? So what you're saying is absolutely true, Malakwa. You know what I'm saying? And this is just one of those scriptures that runs down the pedigree and the record in Israel.
Come on, sir, at the water.
On the ball.
Salakia, sir.
Good.
We have a question on Clubhouse. And Nathak, you can unmute and ask your question.
Good.
Nathak, unmute. You're still muted, huh? Well, I asked this question for him.
Good.
He wants a breakdown or some scriptures on, you know how Christians like to believe they can have a personal relationship with God or pray to him without following his laws.
Okay.
Yeah, he just wants some scriptures on that.
All right, some of the best scriptures that you can do is in really John. So hold on. Well, 1 John rather. Let's see. So you can go to 1 John 2 and 3. And hereby we do know that we know him. Talking about the Most High. If we keep his commandments. That's how you know if you know the Lord. So when Christians turn around and try to say they have a personal relationship with God, if they're not keeping the Lord's commandments, they don't know him at all. He saith, I know him, he that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments is a liar, and the truth is not in him. So when these Christians turn around and say you could eat pork, crab, shrimp, lobster, you could celebrate holidays, birthdays, all these things, the truth isn't in them. They're a liar according to God. But whoso keepeth his word, in him verily is the love of God perfected. Hereby we know that we are in him. You understand? So this is how you know if you have a relationship with God. And anybody who is not abiding by this, they do not know him at all. All right.
Count out of one count.
All right, we got a few more minutes left in class. Any other questions? Let me double check the chat. Yeah, Var Champs, the Queen Sheba never had Solomon's son. Ever. Ever. That's a lie. You understand? That's a lie. Like they utilize that the same way Muslims utilize the Quran. They need the Bible in the same way that Ethiopians need Solomon in order to verify their, bullshit religion. So no. That's nowhere in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? That is something conjured up by a man looking for power and creating a false religion. All right? If you can't show it to me in the Bible, then, you know what I'm saying, once again, you're lying. We got any other questions in the chat?
Salaka, sir, no other questions in the chat.
All right. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything else inside here. All right, so click the link at the top. The form for trespass councils has been dropped in on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to ISUPK Boston as well as ISUPK Connecticut. This class is going to be taken down on Cross the Line, so if y'all want to, repeat it, make sure you subscribe to those channels. The next class is going to be taught from ISUPK Connecticut as well as ISUPK New England on Clubhouse this Wednesday, 7 to 9. If you're in the New England area and you're interested in putting boots on the ground, make sure that you contact us. So if you are trying to join the school, you start wearing all black boots, shirts, headbands, and scarves, you can contact myself. And y'all can call the Boston number, you know what I'm saying? So, or if you know anybody in the area, the number is 857-990-1887. That's 857-990-1887. This way you can start getting counted for attendance for class, so that you can receive, hold on one second, so that this way you could receive your Hebrew name. So the Trooper program is 90 days in which brothers put on all black boots, shirts, headbands, war scarves. And during this 90-day period, we will assess you to see you understand what sins you have given up. That you stop committing, that you stop idol worshiping and following all these pagan holidays. That you've given up cigarettes and weed and started to conform to who it is as who we are as Israelites. You understand? After that 90-day period, if you've done everything as such, you will receive a Hebrew name and be given the rank and title of a trooper. Now, that's for the brothers. As for the sisters, that's a similar way as to how you can earn your name. It's 90 days. You do not have to wear all black. And at the end of the 90 days, you understand, depending on how well you decided to follow these instructions, you too will be able to get your Hebrew name. All right? What are you going to say, Ak?
Salaka, sir, somebody came through with a last-minute question.
Okay, what is it?
She wants a general breakdown of Jeremiah 34 and 13 through 14.
Okay, I don't know if I got time for all that now. Tell her to save that question, you know what I'm saying, for next class, and then, you know what I'm saying, save that for Wednesday, all right?
I don't want to come.
All right, so with that, we're going to go ahead and end the class. Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah Thumb to all my brothers, Yahweh Shema Thah B'Shem Yahweh Shah to all my sisters, and make sure that you subscribe to ISUPK Boston, New England, and Connecticut. All right, shalom.
Shalom, sir. Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah